Hello sim racers, and welcome to this latest Pitlanes sim racing video. Today's sim of choice is iRacing, and I'll be running down my top 3 cars from this sim. Please feel free to let me know in the comments if you agree or not with my lineup of cars from iRacing. Okay, let's get to it. Let the countdown begin. The first car in my top 3 is the epic Nissan GTP ZX Turbo. The Nissan GTP ZXT emerged as the dominant force in North American sports car racing, leading to Jeff Brabham's IMSA Camel GT drivers title in '88. And then in the '89 season, Brabham beat teammate Chip Robinson to a second drivers title while winning the Manufacturers Championship as well. Originally built using a Lola 810 chassis for the first Nissan IMSA Challenger back in 1985, they gradually moved towards building and producing their own chassis to house Nissan's powerful VG30ET turbocharged engine, which kicked out a mighty 800 brake horsepower. Now, why is this car one of my favourites when there are much more modern prototype LMP based cars in iRacing? Well, this one wins out as it's far more of a driver's car, with the new generation of cars being too complicated with their hybrid systems. You've got engine maps, fuel maps, ERS maps, hybrid maps, and even Google Maps that require your attention when driving. The Nissan is just a whopping great big turbo bolted to a car with a ton of downforce. Mix in the fact that it's got no ABS or traction control. It just makes the experience of driving this car on the limit a real test of your bravery. And that's not even mentioning having to deal with the old school H-pattern gearbox. To me, this car just feels great, sounds great, looks totally bonkers, everything you would want from a race car to get you excited in all the right ways. Add driving it with VR, which just takes it to another level as you start to get that feeling of what being inside that low cockpit must have been like for lap after lap. And this is why the Nissan GTP is on my shortlist of cars in iRacing. And in at number 2 is the Audi RS LMS TCR. TCR racing has exploded in popularity around the world over the past few years, and the Audi RS3 LMS has proven to be one of the most popular cars in this current touring car configuration, used by drivers on 4 continents. The Audi was even voted TCR Model of the Year 2018, above cars from 12 other manufacturers. The Audi TCR produces up to 350 brake horsepower from its turbocharged 2-litre power plant with a sequential shifting gear change, meaning that this front-wheel drive touring car produces plenty of exciting action no matter where it races. So we have a front-wheel drive touring car in the second spot. Well, what else would you expect from me as a confirmed tin top nutter? But don't let that put you off. This car is a bundle of fun to throw around and requires real concentration to get the best lap times from, as with a twitchy rear end under braking and torque steer when pulling out of a corner, it all adds up to a real driving experience, and you won't get a minute's peace when racing hard with it. This version in iRacing has some fantastic force feedback effects when coupled with my AccuForce direct drive wheel, and the car certainly feels alive when out on the virtual racetrack. The view from the cockpit is spot on, with everything as it should be, which really helps add to the sense of immersion when racing in VR. All this means that the Audi has a well-deserved place on my list after many an exciting race with it. Drum roll please as we climb to the dizzy heights of number 1, and of course it has to be the Porsche 911 GT3 991 Cup car. Raced in more than 20 series around the world, including the Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup series, which supports the FIA Formula 1 World Championship, the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup is the world's most produced and most used GT race car. With its potent, lightweight 4-litre flat-six engine mounted in the rear of the car, creating at least 485 brake horsepower, the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup is a demanding car to master, but one which delivers ample rewards to those who do. To me, this Porsche Cup car is about as good as it gets in the virtual world of race cars, with its beautifully balanced chassis and lack of driver aids such as ABS or traction control. It is a pure driver's car. Driving this car at the sharp end of the grid requires a lot of feel as you try and hustle the car around the track with a combination of throttle and brake inputs, always bearing in mind to be easy on both as you try and create that perfect lap, if that's ever possible with this car. Once you get the car set up to your liking, driving this Porsche can be just amazing, and when you add in VR, it's so easy to believe that you are sat in that cockpit and facing another 20 Porsche cars for the race win. And that's why it has to be my number 1.